We are inside Pampadumshola National Park in Kerala. The stay inside the national park gifted us with a memorable experience. As we woke up during morning, we were welcomed by snow-covered grasslands. We decided to spend some time in the snow, as snow was not expected during our period of stay in the park. The temperature outside was freezing, but we decided to stay outside itself. Patches of snow and grass was found inside the marshland, which surrounded the accommodation. Usually such experiences are limited to harsh winter months of December and January. There was a camp in the nearby amenity center, and the members were seen outside photographing the snow-filled grasses. Slowly the sun started getting brighter and the snowflakes started evaporating. We were curious to know the temperature and decided to check the same inside the car, as there were no other options available. The temperature recorded inside the car was around 5 degrees Celsius, when the time has passed 7 a.m. After having our breakfast, we arrived at the checkpost to proceed for trekking. The map of the national park and Kerala state was displayed at the forest checkpost. The checkpost had an eco shop which sold some forest and tourism related products. We headed to the forest, accompanied by the guide. Though we wanted to go for trekking during the early hours of the day, considering the climate, guide asked us to delay the trekking session. These shapes denotes the boundary between Kerala and Tamil Nadu states. The boundary signs were found along the trekking path from the forest checkpost itself. Though the sun started getting brighter, the temperature inside the park is still cold. This forest falls in the category of shola forests. Shola forests are typically found in higher altitude and of short trees with grassland patches. The short trees inside the forest were creating shades inside the forest, restricting sunlight from falling in the road. The trekking path passes through an earlier road, which connected Kerala and Tamil Nadu states. The road is now closed to public. The activity of birds and mammals was minimal in the park during our trekking session. Though we walked fair distance, we were not sweating due to the cold weather. A pug mark of big cat was found on the trekking path. We got the information that a tiger had killed an Indian bison in this area few days back. The remains of the kills were moved out of the road to the nearby ditch. This incident, linked to the pug marks we found, pointed to the presence of tiger in the area. An old stone-carved milestone mentioning the distance to a town in the nearby state was found along the path. As we progressed with the trek, our accommodation facility and amenity center appeared in a distance. We were walking parallel to the road that passes through the national park. The trekking path takes a deviation from the old main road to a pathway. The pathway is a bit steep and one needs to be cautious when trekking this path. During our previous visit to this park during monsoon, we avoided this particular stretch, as it was slippery due to rains. The pathway led us to an open space, which had a mud house intended for tourists. Cottages were found up the hill, which was visible from our accommodation in the valley. The cottages were surrounded by ditches, to control the entry of wild animals. The view of the valley from this location is really mesmerizing. The climate was becoming hot, as the sun started shining bright. We found a snake on our path and spared some time photographing it. We advanced further and took a different path, which led us to the main road view. We arrived back to the main road, after sparing around 2.5 hours inside the national park. Apart from our other visits, we returned from Pampadumshola National Park this time, with a great experience of the unexpected snowfall in the park.